Hey friends, it's your pal Erica, and today I'm going to be doing a playthrough of a game that I created with my good friend Mone Jimenez. It's called Noble Without a Soul. This game is a solo journaling RPG, and it's modeled after Anna Anthropy's Princess with a Cursed Sword system. So for those who are wondering, what is a solo RPG? It basically has the ability to create the storytelling experience of a regular RPG, but without a GM. So you're given prompts and game mechanics to kind of like push your story forward, but you're just doing it by yourself. Okay, so let's get into it. Noble Without a Soul. This is our title page, and let's just scroll down here to the actual prompt. All right, and you see this young person hunched over at a bar, just drowning their sorrows away in ale. Okay, so it says, a hooded stranger in a tavern challenges you, a young noble in tattered linens, to a card game. The stranger promises a prize more valuable than rubies. You agree, but only have your priceless heirloom to offer as payment. The stranger laughs off money as useless. What they genuinely seek is your soul. Despite your fear, you play on, and the stranger waves a gnarled hand and extracts a white light from your chest, trapping it in a lantern. As the game progresses, the stranger fades into smoke. All that's left is a smoldering coal burning in a lantern. A wizened monk who witnessed the scene advises you to grab the lantern. You must journey to the crumbling tower in the hinterlands to reclaim your soul. Until then, you're forced to wander in darkness and cannot sleep. So that's the beginning. Before we get started playing the game, there's a few things you're going to need to assist you on your journey. And one of those is either a tarot deck or a deck of cards, 2 coins, and you need something, a pen, paper, or some sort of word processing document to record your story. And then we should be good to go. So just grab those items and join me. So I took the liberty of playing through and recording the story and editing it to a dramatic interpretation for you. So I hope you enjoy it. Here is Noble Without a Soul.
Dearest Diary, things took a drastic turn after my beloved fiancée, Lady Beryl York, decided to end our engagement. Apparently my hobby as a gambler made quite an impression on her father, his lordship York. For heaven's sake, I was at the horse track for the sole purpose of doubling her dowry. How on earth was I supposed to know that the favored horse was going to lose by a nose? I can't believe she was so hysterical. Anyway, I must have really done it because not only did she break it off with me, she cut off my clothing allowance. Sigh. She loved it when I modeled the bespoke suits. And well, she'd taken my clothing and sold it at a second-hand shop. I was reduced to stealing the clothes on my back from her stable boy. We got into a bit of an altercation. I was the victor, of course. I hit him with a horseshoe when he wasn't looking. Even though I won the fisticuffs, I didn't leave unscathed. I walked away with tattered clothes and a black eye. Speaking of cuffs, the only possession I have left to remotely prove I'm nobility are my cufflinks bequeathed by my father. He also left me an estate facing foreclosure. But hey, maybe I can find another rich heiress in fear of being placed on the shelf. I managed to finagle a few coins from the stable boy while he was unconscious. I'm rewarding myself with a bowl of venison stew and a pint of red ale. I feel that even though I've lost everything, I was still able to find a way to feed myself. I dined in a tavern that lies on the outskirts of town, right before you run into the Fiddler's Forest. I had just ordered my 3rd pint of ale when a hooded stranger approached me.
Fancy a card game, Sir Montague?
I was taken off guard. Pardon me, stranger, how do you know my name? The stranger laughed, and the cowl shrouding his neckline kept me from seeing his face. When I think about it now, it was for the best. The man had empty sockets instead of eyes, yet he informed me that he noticed my family insignia emblazoned on my cufflinks. He had a most disturbing sallow complexion, and his breath reeked of spoiled meat. Despite my recent unpleasantness at the track, my gambling prowess was still intact, especially when it came to cards. What game did this unsavory gentleman want to play? I closed my eyes and muttered this silent prayer. If there be a deity in the heavens, please have this stranger challenge me to a game of whist. Before I could ask which card game he'd like to play, he said,
I've taken the liberty to set up a wager for a game of whist, Sir Montague.
I reached for my coin purse, remembering that I spent my last coin on the ale I was nursing. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't catch your name. The stranger didn't oblige me with such pleasantries. He coughed, and I got an extra dose of his putrid breath. He sat with his arms folded, waiting for my response. Well, sir, I'm afraid I've spent my last coin on this pint, but I have my cufflinks. They're worth... He held up a gnarled finger and pressed its cold tip against my lips, sending a chill down my spine.
Money is useless to someone like me. I'm actually after your soul.
This had to be a publicity stunt to attract an audience. Who wanders around taverns asking for people's souls? This stranger was most likely a mentalist or one of those traveling actors doing a bit. His costuming and mannerisms were nothing short of theatrical. Sure thing, dear stranger. I'll wager my soul. I chuckled nervously. He nodded slightly and placed a hand on my chest. Suddenly, I felt tingling in my elbows as a white light left my chest. The man was pulling light from inside me and placing it into a lantern. I coughed, trying to fill the void that he'd created within my chest with anything, even if it was sawdust. The stranger shuffled and dealt a card, and a plume of smoke cascaded from his sleeves. He was enveloped in a dark cloud. A random patron opened the tavern door, and the breeze cleared the air. The stranger had vanished, leaving only the lantern behind. Ice ran through my veins. I couldn't get warm despite being near a crackling fire. Was I an automaton? I was rather upset by the entire ordeal. I wanted to cry but had no tears to shed. I felt a warm hand on my shoulder and turned to see the face of a wizened monk.
I see you're his latest victim. I'd been tracking him for weeks, but he managed to elude me.
I was momentarily speechless. The old man patted me reassuringly, coaxing words from my brain. Who is he? My voice trembled, betraying my emotion.
He has many names and not one should be spoken aloud. No need to make invitations for trouble, and believe me, dear sir, you have enough of that.
The monk was right. Not only did I lose my fiancé, my livelihood and my future, but my soul had been taken, jeopardizing my afterlife as well. The old man interrupted my downward spiral with introductions.
I am Barnabas the Elder. Would you be kind enough to tell me how to address you?
My name is Rutherford Montague III, but you may call me Ruthie.
Ruthie, your soul has been taken from a dark and dangerous...
He paused, searching for the right word. Man? I tried to complete his sentence, but my attempt was waved off.
You must journey to the hinterlands to retrieve your precious soul. The nameless stranger dwells in a crumbling tower and will surely have your essence stored on the grounds. You'll have to confront him and take it back by force. Until then, you'll be forced to wander Earth without sleep.
This was too much information coming at me at once. No soul, fighting a man powerful enough to take it. And no sleep? And I was definitely out of my depth regarding the hinterlands. Barnabas, I don't know how to get to the hinterlands. Could you give me directions? The old man scratched his bristled chin and blinked a few times before answering.
You've been cursed, dear boy. You'll eventually fall victim to sleep madness and wander the earth until this unpleasantness is resolved. I will walk with you, Ruthie, until this tired shell of a body is no more. It's my sworn duty to protect those who've encountered danger.
As thankful as I was for the monk's help, his heroic declaration was a bit much for my taste. I knew I'd have to shake him off when the opportunity presented itself. I wish I'd paid more attention during my tutoring. I don't look forward to sermons or any sort of life lessons, but I am intrigued about how he came to know the hooded stranger, and of course I'm wondering how to get my soul back. We exited the tavern. The monk explained that the soul is meant to depart from us after we've died, and death is essentially eternal slumber. The soul is the driving force inside us, and it must recharge every night while we sleep. It was an inevitable conclusion that since sleep and death were so closely related, the absence of a soul would rob me of sleep. His elucidation struck me. I was overwhelmed by a sense of malaise.
To advance the story and explore the hinterlands, the 5 of Pentacles or coins was drawn. Ruthie must travel to the frozen tundra, where he is exposed to shifting landscapes, jagged ice formations, supernatural mammoths, half-buried shipwrecks, and pirate ghosts.
Thanks for staying till the end. I will see you in the next video.